I've been thinking can make you feel retarded if you have an autoimmune disorder or if you aromatize too much. There's an issue there. And there's the issue of balancing the estrogen with aromatase inhibitors. There's a lot of this fine, delicate balance between people that have issues pre-TRT and issues that are exacerbated or pop up out of nowhere post-TRT. At the same time, battling all your demons pre-TRT, whatever it is, weight, muscle, superficial things, but also like not superficial things, like your sense of confidence, how determined you are, that you won't let the normal things that affect everyone but narcissists, you won't let them get in your way. You won't let the normal, practical things like money, paying your taxes, making sure your bills are paid on time, all that, fuck that. Fuck that noise. Feeding your children, secondary to your goals. Because they're bigger. And once you get those, it's not just a delusion. They take care of all the other stuff. Sure, they might be hungry, but they'll be skinnier and more handsome young men and women. Maybe you should get your dog. I just think the dog can't fully commit to that choice, so you should give the dog its food. You should put some aside of your goal money aside. But back to the for the dog, like good food. I don't mean like kibble and bits. I mean quality food. Like rotisserie chicken scraps and stuff. Take out the bone. It's dangerous. But going back to the idea of like the confidence that TRT gives you, this delusional confidence, or kind of like Xanax in a sense, the quelling of self-doubt, the quieting of that noise, the awareness of your time. I think time distortion, especially when you're young, becomes a problem. It almost is required to kind of live here like a normal person, to be like unaware of time. And as you get older, it becomes, regardless of where you are in life, time kind of scares you. You value your time more and more, but it becomes more of a burden on you. With testosterone, you value the time. It's not as much of a burden, but you're more determined to take chances. You don't just acknowledge the time, good or bad. Like, I'm young, life's fun, or I'm older, I have to like not waste my time as much and focus on things that really matter. It takes it all the way to the logical conclusion of focus on the things that matter and also take advantage of your time and actually put it into action. So I question someone who is like, and I'm watching my ELO and chess very carefully. I gave myself a little extra testosterone today because I was feeling constantly anxious at the level that I was on. And I wasn't sure whether it was the downside effect of coming down from 120 milligrams in December hitting me around a week ago. So I added 10 milligrams today, just off the cuff. So now I'm going to be at 110 for the week, see what happens there. I was like, all right, I'm constantly anxious. I'm constantly worried about mistakes from the past recently, but it's affecting what I can do now as I rectify things, as I make amends or I try to fix things that like were a mistake while balancing health issues, autoimmune disorders, and things like that. I forgot that I was out of vitamin D3 today on the Coimbra protocol. I've been out of it for 2 days, in fact. So like what popped up today made me tired. What made me kind of like languishing? Has this exacerbated the anxiety to some degree? I don't know. But I took a little bit of testosterone and I instantly was reminded of how important some of the assets in my life are and that I'm not taking full advantage of them. People, I know that sounds coarse and kind of like psychopathic, but like, leveraging your resources, knowing how important they are to the end game, which is like complete independence. I think the class issue of technology, that like people that are online is like poor coded because you are perpetually looking for a dopamine hit that you can't get in real life, because those things, the material objects IRL, are more unattainable. So you indulge yourself in like kind of this cheap version of joy, but it's basically like a meth addict or a heroin addict. And I think that the ultimate joy is to unplug and to be like present and not have to depend on technology. And so in order to become unplugged, you have to be kept and have, be liquid, not worry about money and things like this. So you're constantly racing towards a kind of deflationary technological future for yourself where you're not around all the tech, and you need all the tech to get there. But how nice it would be to like live in the real world and see people off their phones to share with you this kind of like joyous occasion of like living in this real simulation or variant of reality on Earth. Like just on this ball, worried about your fucking server code updates, your DigitalOcean instance. Give me a break. Oh, I'm out of Claude credits. I have to wait till 9 p.m. Damn. It's like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Have 3 liquids. Glass of red wine, an espresso. Yeah, it's a cappuccino for dessert maybe, but sparkling brownie. Have like a nice steak, frites, some bread, maybe overindulge, like a popper. Over from BLT steak, that would be great. Why though? I just tapped it. I tapped it. It's so annoying. All these chords, planned obsolescence. Why? Why is this so difficult? Do I have to get a fucking stand? It's a brand new fucking cord. I've got the XLR cable extension. Not happy with it. I'm not happy with the setup. What was I talking about? Anxiety. Your destiny. Stress. Unbelievable stress. Like the most insurmountable fucking stress you've ever experienced. Like fuck you stress. Fuck you, stress. That's what it is. Fuck you, stress. Fuck you, stress. Make some retarded mistakes. Break compliance. Don't even know what you're doing because your brain's on fire. Because you have an autoimmune disorder. Realize it, that you made a mistake. Stop everything you're doing and rectify it. Once you're aware you're doing something wrong, that's when you rectify it. Like, oh, I didn't know that. Fix it. Don't be afraid of it. Just fix it. Consequences are far less severe when you like take action against something versus pretending that it's not a problem. Because then it looks like you're intentionally covering something up. You know? So you take action and you wait for to get back into compliance. You wait to get back into compliance and it sucks. And you have to wait in line for them to review your docs. The compliance people. Bureaucrats. And because of the government shutdown, literally like from last fall to now, starting up again potentially, you're going to be in line maybe till this summer. But that's okay. Because you're doing the right thing. You planned to do something last year. Your lawyers were busy. You have to do all this stuff. You have to wait for all this red tape. It's driving you crazy. It's stressing you out. You're missing out on tons of money. But you're doing the right thing. And that's all that matters. You weren't doing the right thing, but you didn't know that. You didn't know that. And then you instantly stopped. But then that's the quid pro quo. It's like, okay, you made a mistake. And because you have to pay the piper, you can't do that until you're back into compliance. That's it. That's how it works. That's how the world works. It's a good thing. Everyone's waiting for their turn. The testosterone version of me the higher testosterone reminds me of how frustrating the line is and how everything about it's bullshit. You know, like you're not trying to hurt anybody. You're just trying to, get an opportunity to do something. You have to have people review your documentation arbitrarily before you can start to, do anything. That sucks. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. And then you know what that does? It gives you a great opportunity to go do other things. You have this one career, whatever you're doing, and all this like lawyer bullshit you're dealing with. And then you have all this other life that you wanted to live at one point in time. You have all these other interests or hobbies or whatever, or projects. Take advantage of them. Read write a book. Write a fictional book. Pretend you're on like the grand tour and go lease some like race cars with your friends and go on a gumball rally down PCH. Weird. I said it like a very interesting immunity thing with my neck. Whew, I can feel it. Strange. Overdose on vitamin D3. Just go for it. Why not? But love yourself. Try your best. Fail again. You're in a downswing. It's okay. Let your investors know. That's all you have to do. Let them make the decision. You're on a downswing. It's up to them. Can't take on any new money until you're back in compliance. That's okay. That's okay. That's frustrating, but that's life. It'll beat you down, but you have to keep going. Because that's how winning is done. Nothing hurts more than life. It's true. That's exactly how winning is done. Looking into the abyss and saying, fuck you. Also, treating every like failed thing as like a battle and not the war. Hint, hint, we all end up in the same place. It's not a question of losing because we die. It's a question of like, did we live a righteous life? Because we can't take any of it with us. And we certainly can't take back the, fears of the past that inhibited our behavior. Knowing that you're trying to do the best thing you can do for someone, you're trying to do the best thing you can do for yourself, taking chances, taking shots, taking risks, and then sometimes you're stuck. You can't do that. You're kind of like handcuffed. And that hurts too. It's very frustrating. But you're trying. This one person, a friend of mine, doesn't realize how important they are to me. But if I told them, it's like it seems like I need like their help more than I do. And I don't want to like breach that because it's tough. But I don't know. I always feel like when you seem like you don't need anything from anyone, that's when you get everything. You know? Volatility is such a bitch. Such a bitch. I feel handcuffed. Hold on, let me see here.
First of all, a diner is different. Economics are different. A diner has to serve a bunch of different stuff. It's typically they do breakfast, lunch, dinner. People eat multiple meals there throughout the day. If you're a diner, then you got to have pancakes and eggs and bacon, and you got to have open-faced sandwiches and meatloaf and soup. I don't want to do all that. It's too complicated. And when you do a bunch of different dishes, usually it lowers the overall quality. You got a big menu, you make a bunch of different stuff. It's hard to make a bunch of different things and do them all well. And usually the coffee at a diner is just drip coffee. So when I think of a diner, I think about a shitty hamburger and a shitty cup of coffee. I think about a diner, I think about very average food, unremarkable, unexceptional food, average burger, average breakfast, small cup of coffee, shitty drip coffee. That's what I think of. When I think of a burger stand, I think of they make one thing, they do it exceptionally well. It's fast, it's high quality, they got it down. Good ingredients, it's a system. You go there, you get your burger, you're eating it in 5 minutes, and it's the best in town. When I think of a coffee shop, same thing. Specialize in coffee, it's an espresso bar, they got people that know how to work the machine and everything. Maybe it takes a little longer, people are okay with that. And if you're making donuts, then it's a bakery. Then it's a whole ass bakery. So I'm looking for two very specific things. I want a donut shop / coffee bar. I want a burger stand. You combine the two, there's no donuts. Some diners, I guess, do the homemade donut thing, but it's pretty...
The cupcake phenomena, people waiting in line for cupcakes with a burger bar combination. I don't hate the idea. Austin, Texas, Voodoo, was it Voodoo Donuts, whatever it is? There's that. And there's like Burger Bar. There's like Camino El Casino has like one of the best burgers in town, the Chicago burger. Cheers to you, Nick. It has like barbecue sauce on it, and like 2 slabs of like ham, or is it bacon? It's really good. It's very good. Yeah, Yeah, I think, there's something to that, but it has to be. What else did he say?
Rare. I guess you could do an espresso machine, but again, it's like then you're doing that whole thing while you're making all this other crap. The menu's too complicated. I go to a diner and they say, here's your Italian stuff, here's your Greek stuff, here's your Oriental stir fry, here's your ribs, here's your meatloaf, here's your triple decker sandwiches, here's your bread. It's too much. And then there's all these rules. It's like, well, here's our late night menu after 2 a.m. Our breakfast starts at 9. Our lunch starts at 11. It's like, there's too much going on there. The daily specials, daily soups. What's your soup of the day? What's your daily special? That's too much. That's too complicated. I want a restaurant where I can go there any time of day. I know they're open. Hey, let's go here. It doesn't matter what time of day it is, what day it is, it's open. I want a hamburger. This is where I'm going. I know my order. What is the word when something's like uniform and I can't think of it. But there's like units of it. It's like, okay, single, double, triple, box of fries. I want it to be like that. I want to know what I'm getting. I want to know exactly what to expect. I want it to be quick, easy. I don't want all this carrying on. And same thing with coffee and donuts. I want to go in the morning, get my donuts, get like one donut, cup of coffee. Modular. You know what I love about White Castle? It's modular. So satisfying. You ever go to White Castle? They have these little slider cheeseburgers. They're small. Everything they sell comes in a tiny little white box. Slider, tiny little white box. French fries, tiny little white box. Mozzarella sticks, onion rings. That's perfect. That's wonderful. I love that. And I want it to be modular. I want it to be very neat, modular, clean packaging. A white box for your burger, a white box for your fries.
It sounds like a prison thing or like some sort of astringent. Bruh. Antibacterial burger shop. We have astringent on the floors, at the countertops, very clean, or a padded room where like 11 from Stranger Things is created in a fucking lab. Also, here's your donut, sir. And your Lavazza $2,000 coffee machine. Here's your cappuccino. Frothed. Here's your macchiato. Here's your half white. Go fuck yourself. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is a half white? It's like a cappuccino with less foam. Go fuck yourself. Really, that's pretentious. The Italians don't just say they don't have cappuccinos after 10 a.m. or like 11. You can have one in the evening, I think, after dinner. Usually espresso, but I think it's allowed because of how heavy it is. It's like part of the breakfast, like the satiation factor. I get it. If you have like a cappuccino at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it kind of makes you feel like shit. It's like leaner is better during that time. The whole hunter-gatherer thing of like earn your food, hunt, make the dinner worth your while. All the fucking snacking might actually affect your whole like workflow index in your head of like immediate gratification versus like I want a donut for like to snack on. I want some Chex Mix, and you're just like popping it. But does that affect your work? Do you think you're a better like wagey if you're just not doing the little Chex Mix thing? You're not constantly stuffing your fat fucking face. You're like focusing on the work. Like, I don't really want to wake up at 6 a.m. and wait in traffic and then go to this office anymore. How can I like, while I'm here, maximize my equity vesting schedule and get the fuck out of here? Can I talk to some people in the office, leave and do a startup and get like a Series A $100 million, seed round or something like that? I don't know, 20 million, 10 million seed round, probably more like that. Series A, though, gets to 100 million, but that's reasonable. Can I do that? He went to Harvard, Oxford, UC Santa Barbara. Good enough. Why not? But you have to keep it open. The immediate gratification thing is like cucking you from thinking. I do worry about that with like the impulse control of the testosterone. Is that like another like ruse of like the elites like give these plebes some muscles and they'll leave us alone? Like it makes you too monkey brained to a degree, potentially. But God, the anxiety I've been having is just unreal. And I literally don't mean about anything recent. I mean, from like a year ago, you know, like it's crazy. It's just so stupid. It's also funny how like you don't realize you do something wrong until like you realize like, oh, that I'm not allowed to do that, or that's incorrect. Oh shit. Oh my God. It's so funny. It's so funny. It's funny how life is. Yeah. Startups, autoimmune disorder, feeling like you're right up against it. Unbelievable, man. It's so stressful, life is. I was supposed to just be funny at dinner parties. I wasn't supposed to worry about like managing other people's money or building some fucking like company. I was meant to smoke cigs, buy a pool like Alain Delon in Purple Noon, fuck bitches, drive fancy sports cars, and just make people laugh at dinner parties. Maybe do that cool thing with like Brad Pitt and Troy where he's throwing the women's arms off him when he wakes up in the morning. He's all ripped. Like that. That's, and I don't just mean that like hyperbolically or like, you know, thinking highly of myself. That's all I'm supposed to do is just go and be a raconteur, talk to people, have fun, be maybe like a patron of the arts, go to like art gallery openings, maybe have an affair with this girl or that girl. This girl that I'm having an affair with is now picking my mistress from this relationship, and we're in a little polycule. Way better than the FTX polycule. Sam Bankman-Fried, FTX, way better. Carolyn Ellison, no offense. But then you have you smash all these models, all these Wilhelmina girls, and then you're like all into like a Carolyn Ellison because it's like a freaky thing. You know, it's like the goth girl in high school. It's like you want to run your freak flag. She's a freak, you know, and she's also grateful. And you're like, it's nice. It's very nice. Everyone's happy, you know. It's very nice. But have you ever had a thing when you're on an elevator and the person's like gets in with you, but they're getting off? Well, it doesn't matter. You're getting off or they're getting off, and you say, have a good evening or whatever, but basically that, and you're leaving or they're exiting. Because of the pressure as the floors go, say it's your floor, you're getting off, to say that, do you ever go like, para baby, have you a good evening? And they're like, you too. Because they're cued that that's what you meant and that they heard it wrong, because who would do that? But you're like, have a good evening. And it's like, yes, you too. Like they just think they misheard you because they're like, why is that a big deal? Have a good evening. You're a freak if you say it like that. It should just be able to roll. Have a good evening. But it's always like, have a good evening. And like, oh yes, of course. I wonder if on the higher dose of testosterone that something with the brain fog, whatever the fuck, it made me do that more often. How many, you know, they're getting off. Have a good evening. They're like, yes, thank you, freak. But pressure of speech, pressure to engage with the world because of the digital world, the stress of that. I don't know. Is that what it is? It's just like everyone's just afraid to like live in the real world. Is my shit working? Am I like, hold on. Am I like cut off? No, I would not. Okay, cool. Yeah, so what else is going on in the world? Broncos would have won that game if it wasn't for the injury. Stidham did fine, I guess, for a backup. The weather was impossible. Yeah, but what about a fruit tart? I don't know about that. Does it have to be so decadent where you have to have like ice cream? Like, it's nice to have something a bit light. Dude, what? Who is the account that runs RTSG that constantly talks shit about the Groypers and Nick Fuentes. Who is that? Like, who is he pandering to? This is like so fake. Like, what is this? Hyper realism. It's so hard. It's like you don't need to lie to people. It's hard to get away with it. Just be straightforward. Like, that's, you can't say that Nick Fuentes is like a complete liar and owned by someone. It doesn't work. You know, like, who's gonna buy that? It's not real. It's very hard to do that. That's why he's so popular. He's just kind of like is who he is, you know? It must be so hard to like plan to build something for yourself and to constantly realize that you're allocating most of your time to making someone else rich and not yourself. You're working for your boss, and at economies of scale, like the total expenses he pays out for salaries, the lease liabilities for the company, the margins that he charges, he takes this precipitate and makes himself money. And it grows and grows and grows, and you increase the prices of things. You're getting paid basically the same. The margins go up way more. And he has equity, and maybe you have a little bit, but you probably don't. And you spend like 3 to 10% of your time on your projects or what you want to do, and 90% of your time on his shit, and you think that you're going to break away from it. You really got to like take a chance, like mortgage your house, like that guy in Australia who literally took out a bunch of loans, sold everything he had to buy a fucking gold mine, and became a billionaire. You really got to do that. You got to like fucking go for it. You got to be willing to risk everything. Especially when you're sick. Like, I'm going to do this when I feel better. Like, I'm going to do this when I'm like don't have long COVID or whatever the fuck I have. And it's like, you don't know whether you're going to get better. You don't know whether things are going to improve. You have to like make the most of it. And you don't have to settle either. Like me getting into testosterone therapy or trying all these like JAK inhibitors, these crazy drugs, experimental research chemicals from sites that like, this is just for research purposes. I'm injecting into my belly subcutaneously like a fucking freak. Then going to the hospital and telling them, hey, just so you know, I'd like to admit myself, I injected this drug that I read about from a study, and I want to make sure I don't die. And they know your name. The girl there at 2:00 in the morning knows your name. You go there all the time, and your insurance hates you because it's like, if you didn't have insurance, fuck, they really hate you. They're like, dude, this guy owes the hospital like $25,000. He owes his hospital a Kia. But you're willing to go balls out because you believe that time is of the essence, and that you're on a ball. And that like winning and losing doesn't inherently matter. What matters is like you're happy with what you did in the end. You know, that's what you're happy with. You are happy with you in the end. That's really all that matters. And the only way you're going to be happy with you in the end, when you're literally going to face the abyss into the dark, maybe it's heaven, maybe it's hell, good boy, bad boy, but you're literally only going to be happy if you don't regret not doing shit. Failure is completely irrelevant. That is part of that is a prerequisite to being happy, because you have to go forward and improve upon the things that you suck at. Failure is a prerequisite for everything. People that have like bad parents or like issues with their father or stuff when they're younger, they develop, me too, this horrible fear of failure. It sucks. Severe anxiety issues, but you have to overcome it. Okay? You have to like not let that affect you going forward. Go to therapy, self-actualize, I don't know, make your life more difficult. Usually bad things that happen to you as an adult that are really fucked up, people close to you dying, that can like make you aware, like, my childhood isn't that bad. And then you kind of like develop a thicker skin. Some of the childhood shit just like is impervious to like your arm got blown off in like Afghanistan or something, but like you're still thinking about how like your mom made fun of you because you didn't tie your shoes correctly when you were a kid, and she like was really mean about it, and that like that's worse. You don't have an arm now, but your mom treating you like shit because she's like a narcissist that drank too much. She was so annoying that she drank like frozen margaritas that were non-alcoholic while she was pregnant with you, just for the attention from people, because she liked like putting people on. Maybe they weren't so non-alcoholic, but yeah, like you gotta like you gotta like get over that shit, and it's hard. It really is. It just takes like, okay, how do I get over it? By like building confidence. How do you do that? By doing scary shit. You get the courage after you do the scary shit, and then hopefully some of that like muddles the childhood trauma, so you can actually have a normal life or a great life, and like be happy with yourself when you're 80 and like all your skills are diminished and your joints ache and you can't do the things that you wanted to do anymore. That's the thing. Your skills disappear. You get really ill. They take out your prostate. You gotta like take advantage of what you have when you have it. That's the reality of it. Like the time delusion, the time dilation, that it's all like forever. You're 20, you're 40. You're 50, you'll look 50. You're 60, one of your kids got leukemia, like, and you're still didn't do the thing you were supposed to do. You're not going to like that. It's very dark. It's very dark. No. What? This loft apartment? Really? No, it's not. No, it's not. I had an apartment like that by Richard Linklater in Austin. He was my next door neighbor. Like an open giant apartment. It was still it was like that. It looked just like this, but this is like 20-foot ceilings, like linoleum flooring, open everything. That's got to be like 3,000 square feet. It's definitely not 1,300. That's retarded. I'm going to look at this. Maybe you're on a highway. Maybe that's what it is. It looks so ugly. I'm not like Dallas. No offense. Sorry, I'm looking at this weird little thing. The gig economy, like people are like renting out their spaces. Imagine being a single mom and you rent out like your kitchen for someone to do a cooking show, and you're like breastfeeding your baby on the side, and you're using the money to like, I don't know, buy more diapers or some shit like that, and like you have to wait for the crew to come and leave, and that's like part of your life. Like all this gig shit that people do. Like I remember when $300,000 a year in the corporate world years ago was like not a great salary, and now it's like impossible to meet young people that are like senior software developers or engineers that actually have a $300,000 base. On Wall Street, $250,000 base bonus, 700 G's, you get about $1 million a year. That's what it is with carried interest. It's like that's going to go away. The analyst positions for investment banking, I think the mutual relationship factor, you're gonna have like these senior people, and it's gonna be harder and harder and harder to have those individuals actually do deal creations, or that actually like are like deal makers. A lot of the grunt work with like junior analyst positions is going to be duplicitous to the AI that does it for them. They're probably going to be self-checked by the AI that they're doing anything appropriately. Are you in 10 Arial font? Is this correct? Did you use appropriate discount rates qualitatively? Like all that shit. They're just going to say, fuck you, you're boring, go away, you're not good enough. They're going to pick the best of the best of the best. And because of the like wage deflation, they're going to cut, really it's just cutting away a lot of the fat. People aren't very talented. Is it the testosterone that's making me feel like I'm on Adderall right now? Oh my God, I don't feel like I'm very like, I don't know, I feel weird. I just feel weird. I felt weird like all day. It's exhausting. It's so dark. Can you guys even see me? Like, what is this? This isn't good. Hold on. Why is it like... Okay. Oh, lighting sucks, man. I'm so tired. What is wrong with me? I'm exhausted. I'm gonna get some new topsiders. I want to get some light ones. Oh yeah. Ba, 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 ba. Brutal. Weird. Oh, the weather's thrown all my purchases off. Tracking. Still not to me. Delivered. Yeah. Oof. Dude, too much vitamin D. Alright, I'm gonna take it easy.